Okay, welcome to Winter Wonderland Cutout Effect Exercise. If you download the file winterwonderland.ai, you should already have your workspace set up at 1000 by 1000 pixels, and your entire color palette should already be in place for you on the side here and over here in your swatches panel. We're going to switch over here to layers, and we're going to label this bottom layer colors, and we can lock it. So now we will never mess with it. Why don't we just go ahead and create a new layer and label it background. This file has a lot of layers, so you're going to want to label them. Labeling them layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 is just not going to be enough for you. You're going to need to label them all. So I'm going to click up here in the corner of my rectangle and create a 1000 by 1000 pixel rectangle. Okay, in my properties panel, I want to remove this stroke, so I'm going to click it and say no stroke, thank you very much, and get rid of that. And I also want to make sure that it is in the X and Y axis, that it's right in that corner, and that corner is at 500 pixels by 500 pixels, and that way you know you will always have it in the correct spot. Then I'm going to double click my gradient tool. Down here in this corner, I'm going to double click the black circle, and I want to make it the darkest blue. Then I'm going to double click the white circle and make it the second darkest blue. And then I'm going to click here in my angles, and I want it to go 90 degrees. So it is a very light gradient going from top to bottom. Once you have that, click away and you can lock your layers, your background layer. Let's create a new layer. We're going to label this one Clouds 1. All right, for Clouds 1, we are going to select our lightest blue. So down here, you can just use your eyedropper tool and select the darkest blue. Grab your rectangle tool again, and we're going to create a light rectangle, maybe this big, just the length of our square here, in that nice light blue. Then we're going to switch from the rectangle tool to the ellipse tool, and we're going to make some clouds on top of that. So we're going to make little circles or big circles. Just fill in the space. They should go down the page a little bit here. And oops, I didn't want to do the pie thing. And make it curve out. Oops, I keep doing it. The ellipse tool is very forgiving. Make sure you don't have any dark spots that you can see through, so let's just pull it like that. Maybe one more over here to sort of balance it. Might move that guy up. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Might move some of these out to have a little bit more fluffiness, a little roundness. Okay, when you're satisfied with that, you can click away. And since our background and our colors are both locked, you can hit Command A or select all if you like. And we want to merge them, so switch over to your properties panel and let's unite all of them so they're one big fluffy cloud shape. Don't worry about going off the board, we're going to clean that up in a minute. All right, we can just clean that up now, or maybe we should wait until we're satisfied with our other clouds. Create a new layer and let's call that Clouds 2. Then we are going to make those our second darkest blue. Oops, I was already selecting Clouds 1. See, that's why we start locking our layers. Okay, Clouds 2 we want to be this color. And we're going to make more clouds on top. So hold down your shift key and make some perfect circles. We want it to go around. Nice big ones. we will go everywhere here. We're going to go a little bit further on this one. It should stand out just a little bit more. Maybe make a big one on the end, maybe a tiny one. That looks a little wormy to me. All right. Okay. Again, all of our other layers are locked, so we can just Command A, select all, and go over to our Properties panel and unite those. So they are one big shape. All right, next thing we want to do is in our Layers panel, we want to move Clouds 2 under Cloud 1. And let's go ahead and lock them both. All right, next thing we're going to do is create a layer. Click up here to Clouds 1. And we want our new layer to be on top of that, and it should be Hills 1. There's a lot of layers in this file. So hit Hills 1. And again, we're going to have our oval tool, and we want to select the light blue that we just had. So I think we should be good to make an oval at the bottom of the artboard. So I'm going to create a rather large oval. And I'm going to pull it up so that you're not seeing the clouds, right? Okay, and we're going to tilt it just a bit. So when you get to that corner, you can just rotate it just a little bit. We want our hill to be facing in. I just want to cover the edges of those clouds. So it looks like I've got it. Next, we're going to, let's lock it. Let's lock that. And we're going to create a new layer called, you guessed it, Hills 2. Enter. This one's going to be white, I think. Yeah, we're going to create 2 new ovals, and they are going to be white, I believe. So they're going to go just over this. It's hard to see because I didn't select white, so I'll do that now. There we go. I'm going to make this one just a little bit bigger. The ovals can be a little imprecise. And again, another one, a second one. We want a second one. It should be nice and large as well. And you want it to be right there. Maybe they meet right at where the blue one ends for some drama. And let's tilt that guy inward so they're sort of facing into each other. Okay, next thing I want to do, let's look at what we have. We've got a nice looking setup here, but I'd like to clean the edges. So I'm going to turn off my colors so I don't get distracted. And I will start with Clouds 2. How I'm going to do this is I'm going to take the rectangle tool. I got to unlock it. I'm going to unlock all of my important stuff here. So I'm going to take my rectangle tool and I'm going to go right up to that edge. Okay. And maybe you want to zoom in to make sure you're right on the edge. See, I'm not. So I want to pull it down just a little bit. Just a touch. Might move this guy over too. Okay. So now we can zoom out. I am on the right edge. So I have my new white rectangle that I created. I'm going to hold the Shift key and I'm going to select the light blue clouds, Clouds 2. Then I'm going to switch over to the Properties panel. You can let go of the Shift key right now. And down here by the Pathfinder, I want you to expand that. And this first one in the second row is called Divide. I want you to take Divide. Click Divide. Okay, it looks like nothing happened, right? We're going to move, deselect, and then we're going to select our Direct Selection tool. And I want you to click the white rectangle and delete it. Then this part of the top circle, it's now been divided at that line, and I want you to select inside of it and then also just delete it. And we have a nice clean edge there. So we're going to repeat that process for the other parts. So our Cloud 2 is done. I'm going to lock it. Now let's go to Clouds 1. And I guess our rectangle doesn't have to be as large as the other one. And if we want to, we can make it along this edge as well. So I can also clean up Clouds 1 there. The only trick is to make sure that when you zoom in, you are exactly on the line you want to be on. So that looks correct to me. And I think I'm going to merge these two just so it's one piece, so there's no confusion. So I will shift. What I did was I took the selection tool, shift select both of those pieces, let go of the shift key, go over to your properties panel down here by Pathfinder and click to unite. Okay, now go back to your layers panel. You should be in Clouds 1. And we have our selection tool, Clouds 1, and we're going to go back to properties. Down here under Pathfinder, expand that and hit divide. Okay, then I want you to click away, then click the direct selection tool, click inside the white box and delete. Then you can take all these extra parts and delete those, and they should be cleaned up too. Pretty neat, right? Okay, we just have a couple more pieces to do. We're going to lock clouds and we'll do Hills 1, so that's the dark blue one. Again, we'll create a nice white outline here and make sure it goes to the edge that we need it to. So zoom in, make sure it's exactly where you want it. Now I can't see, but let's turn off Hills 2. Yeah, so Hills 1 goes outside of that line down here too. So we'll make another rectangle down here. Quickly zoom in and make sure you're where you want to be. You don't want to cut anything off you're not supposed to. Zoom out. Okay, then we're going to select both of those, properties panel, unite, and then select, hold the shift key, hold that hill down, open the Pathfinder and crop, select a nothing area, and then direct selection tool, get rid of the white box and get rid of those parts. Great. All that's left now is Hills 1, or Hills 2, I'm sorry. And again, we need another box, and I need a different color so I can see it. I'll make another box on the edge. Oh, we need 3 boxes here. Good grief. All right, so I'm just gonna zoom in at this corner. I know I'm off. Right, that one's in the right place, that one's in the right place. Zoom out. Then let's go to this side. Yeah, I don't want it to cut in. So let's pull that out. Great. Okay, we can zoom out just a little bit here. And using your selection tool, select all 3 of these boxes that you created, go over to properties and unite them. Okay, and then let's do one hill at a time for this one. Oh gosh, just to save ourselves some time, let's copy and paste that template we just made. Okay, so we have selected our cutout template and the first hill. We're going to go to properties, down here to Pathfinder, expand it and divide. Then click in a nothing area, make sure nothing's selected. Use your direct selection tool, grab that, and delete, delete. All right, so that should be done. Now we just need to take care of the other hill. I was afraid if I did them both at once, they might merge into something weird, so I didn't want to do that because I need those 2 hills separated. So let's make sure we're in the right spot. Okay. Zoom out just a little bit. We're going to select that second tool, that second hill, this, and then quickly crop it or divide it, and then delete, delete, and we're good.